everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn more about how to create impressive interview stories. I'm Jana McDonald, a career advisor at the University of Guelph. My background is advising students from all disciplines, the sciences, engineering, arts, applied sciences, computing, and commerce. I work with students from the undergraduate to the PhD levels. Before we get started, I would like to share a territorial acknowledgement. It is with great respect the Experiential Learning Hub acknowledges that the University of Guelph resides on the ancestral lands of the Attawandaron people and the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We uphold the significance of the Dish with One Spoon Covenant and the continuing relationship our Indigenous neighbors have with this land. We recognize that today this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and acknowledging them reminds us of our relationships to this land, where we learn and work. Today I will be sharing with you 4 things. First, what makes an impressive interview story? Second, what experiences you can generate these stories from? 3, a formula you can use for sharing these stories. And 4, additional supports the Experiential Learning Hub can offer you. To start, I want you to think about what it would be like if you were the interviewer. What qualities would you want to see a candidate display during the interview? Why? Sometimes it's helpful to shift your mindset away from your agenda to make sure you're meeting the priorities with your stories of the interviewer. I've literally conducted hundreds of interviews and sat in on many hiring committees. What have I noticed makes the best interview stories? The stories that evoke feelings of pride in the candidate. These feelings show up during the interview as a light in your eyes, warmth in the smile on your face, and an energetic excitement in the telling of the story. It shows up in your body language. These stories help to show your genuine interest in the role, as well as help sell you as the best candidate. Why do we need good stories? Interviews are competitions. Your answers will be compared to the other candidates that are being interviewed. Keeping this in mind, it's important to provide enough details in your stories to showcase what makes you a unique candidate. Where should you start? With those stories that evoke feelings of pride, take a minute and brainstorm 7+ stories you are proud of. Spend some time on this. Please don't give up after you jot down 2 to 3 ideas. I find the best stories come after you dig a little deeper. Go easy on yourself. You don't need to have created a vaccine. All you need is simply to have felt proud of yourself, even in the tiniest of moments. Once you have your story ideas, reflect on these 6 questions. 1, what were you doing? 2, how were you doing it? 3, what knowledge, skills, abilities did you use? 4, what was the outcome? 5, how did this story make you feel? 6, why does this story matter to you? How can you use these stories in the interview? Well, focus on the skills you used. Can your story be shared as an example of communication, problem solving, teamwork, etc.? Where else can you generate stories from? The good news is there is a range of possibilities. Academics, work, volunteering, extracurricular, even hobbies. To get you going, we'll start reflecting on your academic experiences. One possibility you can share a story from would be classes where you were challenged. Classes where you had to work hard for success. The material didn't come naturally, but you had to persevere. This story gave you a real sense of accomplishment. This story would be useful to show you can overcome challenges. Another idea would be peer reviews. When did you receive feedback from your peers on your work? What specifically were they praising you for? You could then use this as an example of that skill or ability. The peer comments would be built into the outcome of your answer. You also want to review the job posting of the role you are interviewing for. You can then develop stories for the knowledge, skills, and abilities the role requires. Finally, you want to create stories for frequent questions that come up in interviews. On recruitguelph.ca, we have a sample of questions, or you can simply do a Google search on this topic. How do we generate helpful stories? We have a helpful formula we recommend called STAR. S. What was the situation? T. What task were you completing? A. What actions did you take? R. What was the result or the outcome? Here are some considerations for the stories you've generated. Are you proud of this story? Does it make you feel good inside when you think of it? Does it showcase your interest in the job or the company? Is the example unique to you? Does it provide enough detail? And finally, is it your best example? By doing all this work before your interview, you are setting up a story bank. These stories will be useful to you in all future interviews that you have. Once you've generated your stories, the next step is to practice them. Start by asking yourself questions in front of a mirror or using your webcam. This step allows you to see if you are comfortable with the delivery. Next, ask a friend, roommate, or parent to ask you questions. They can let you know if your answers are easy to follow and if you're sharing your best examples. Finally, set up a mock interview with a career advisor. Simply log into your Experience Guelph account. On the left-hand side, you will see the option for booked appointments. We're here to help you. It has been a pleasure sharing this information with you today. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for spending time with me.